watching Juan Gotti Talking Sports.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with yet another Washington football team video, and in today's video I'm coming on here to talk about some late round studs / good players that Washington could possibly draft. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case our Washington football team. Let's get straight into today's video. What I mean by studs is players that could possibly go in first round / second rounds in other drafts, but this year's draft their particular position is just stacked and loaded, so they get pushed back in the draft. And obviously some people are going to disagree with my opinion, but these are just a few players that I feel like could be studs for the Washington football team, and this is solely based on the Washington football team needs. You're not going to see me go with positions that Washington already has secure, so it's just basically sold on their needs and players that I feel like could be possible studs in the later rounds based on their needs, like tight end, like cornerback, like quarterbacks, and linebackers. So I just want to give you guys some clarification on what this video was based around, not just players all around the board, but players based solely on Washington football team needs as of right now. Now, some of these players are projected to go second, third, fourth round, and other players are projected to go later, so they can range from as early as the second round to as late as the 7th round. So my first player on my list is quarterback Kellen Mond. You guys know I like Kellen Mond a lot, and the reason for Kellen Mond being the first person off my list, and it's no in particular order, but I really like him the most. Yes, I also like Davis Mills, who's also on my list, but Kellen Mond, I feel like he can run this offense to a T. Now, a lot of people think he's a project, which could be true, and even if for Davis Mills, if we're interested in drafting him, which I would not mind that either, he's also going to be a project. He's going to sit behind Ryan Fitzpatrick if he's the starter, or whoever the starter is. They're most likely going to sit behind them for a year and learn the offense, learn the NFL pro game mentally, and then in 2022 they can take over physically if we do go the quarterback route. But I really like Kellen Mond. He has a solid arm, not the strongest in the world, but what blows me away is his ability to escape the pocket and extend plays with his legs. You guys know that's my biggest thing about a quarterback. We're now getting away, and this has been for the past couple years, we're now getting away from the NFL being pocket passers, man. You need a quarterback that can extend plays, pick up first downs. You need a quarterback that's going to be able to convert on third down with his legs, second down, second and sixes, etc., etc. And I really believe Kellen Mond could bring that to Washington, and he will run this offense perfectly. Like I said, doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but he is pretty accurate for the most part, and he has good touch on the ball. All he has to do is get with the strength and conditioning coach, and he can eventually get stronger. Next person on my list is Davis Mills. I really like Davis Mills too, man. I think him and Kellen Mond are both on the same level as far as my likeness towards the player. I really feel like although he did deal with some injuries in his past, and that could possibly be a reason why Washington passes up on him, I feel like if this QB class wasn't as strong as it was, he would be on the edge of the first round, probably early second round. But considering the fact his injury history and how heavy this QB draft is, he's obviously going to get pushed back, similar to Kellen Mond. I really like Davis Mills, man. Similar to Kellen Mond, again, I like the ability to escape the pocket. I like the toughness that he, deals with. I like the ability to have a strong arm, but also have touch. This man is phenomenal here, and I really like Davis Mills in the late rounds, and he can possibly be a stud out of Stanford for Washington. If we do get him, coach him up, let him sit behind whoever their starter is going to be and learn the game. And I really believe Kellen Mond or Davis Mills, if they can get with Scott Turner, he is going to do great things with them. I feel like great things could be coming in Washington if we do get one of these two quarterbacks. And I know there's other quarterbacks out there like Kyle Trask, like Jamie Newman. None of those guys tickle my fancy like these two guys do. I really like Ian Book too, but I feel like we're not going to be as interested in him just because of how small he is, and size doesn't really matter. But now these two guys aren't the biggest quarterbacks in the world, but they have some size to them, and in this game you need a lot of size to you just to prevent injuries happening so often. And I really think great things could come from Washington if we let these two guys sit behind Ryan Fitzpatrick or whoever said starter is going to be, and we'll be in good hands for the future if we don't go quarterback in the first round. Next player on my list is a tight end by the name of Tommy Tremble out of Notre Dame. I feel like Tommy Tremble could be a very good good number 2 for Washington, and I feel like we can pick him up in the 3rd, maybe 4th round. And like I said, with Tommy Tremble, I don't think he can be a tight end 1 to at least start his career. He could probably eventually grow into that, but to start his career, I feel like he can be a very solid number 2 behind Logan Thomas. He's a vertical pass catcher, and I really feel like this can be a good weapon for Ryan Fitzpatrick or whoever the said starter is. You're going to hear that so many times from me throughout these videos because we don't know who the starter is. Although Ron Rivera did come out and say that Ryan Fitzpatrick will enter camp as the starter, he isn't officially the set starter. So back to Tommy Tremble, I feel like he can be a very good threat to take away, all the attention on the wide receivers, or if we go double tight end sets, take away all the attention on Logan Thomas. I remember a couple years ago, when we had Vernon Davis and Jordan Reed, they would like run those crosser routes with both of those in the middle, and then you have Jordan Reed on the other side and then Vernon Davis over top. It will cause so much confusion, and either one of these guys will be wide open for a big play. And I really just like what he brings to the NFL level. He's a solid pass blocker, not the best in the world, but he's solid in my opinion. Everyone's opinion is different, but I feel like he can be a great vertical pass catcher for this Washington football team. Obviously, he fits this offense, and that's what we need the most, because all we have on this roster is Logan Thomas as a reliable pass catcher. Yes, we have Thad Moss. We don't know what he is. I like Marcus Ball a little bit. We don't really know what he is, so I feel like if we go out and get Tommy Tremble, it can be good for this offense. Now, next player, I have another tight end. I don't know if you guys remember, but I did do a mock draft a couple days ago, and I drafted this guy in my mock draft by the name of Kenny Yeboah out of Ole Miss. I really like this guy, man. He's a vertical pass catcher similar to Tommy Tremble. This guy will go up and get it. He'll go out of his frame to make catches and reel it in. He's very fast for his size. Now, he isn't the best pass blocker, and that's always a downside to this, but you really can't have the best of both worlds. It's always rare, when, especially at the tight end position, where you get a guy like George Kittle that's the best of both worlds, best pass catching and also effective in the run game. You don't really get those so often, especially in this day and age. You're either good at pass catching or you're either good at run blocking. So these tight ends are looking like receivers out here. Look at Kyle Pitts, who's on a totally different level than these guys are, but this is what I'm telling you guys. These tight ends are looking like receivers. Kenny Yeboah, like I said, hands certified, very fast for his size, and he would be so good in a vertical passing offense. So the next player on my list is Jonathan Johnson out of Indiana, who I feel like is going to be so slept on, man. This guy is phenomenal, flies around the ball, has great eyes, has great hands, so he's rarely going to drop interceptions when they come to him. He can also play DB, cornerback, and you guys know that's the scheme we have here in Washington. Just because you play safety don't mean you can't play cornerback. Like Jabrill like to refer to the guys as defensive backs. They're not just safeties, or they're not just cornerbacks. Everyone is a DB. He fits right into that, and he has the ability to, fit into any scheme that you need him to play. So if you need him to play single high, he can do that. If you need him to come down in the box, he can do that. He flies around the ball, and he's a hard hitter. So he has everything what it takes, everything that you want to see in a NFL safety. And I really feel like if we put him at free safety, because that's what he plays, obviously, and then you put Cameron Curl at strong safety, man, these could be a nasty duo, man. I'm telling you, like I told you, his primary position is free safety, but he can play strong, he can play DB, he has experience at everything in the secondary, and we can have a second coming of a Cameron Curl. Remember Cameron Curl coming out of the draft, he was a defensive back, although safety was his primary position. He can play corner. You remember at Arkansas, he played cornerback there, so he has the ability, just like Cameron Curl, to play every position in the secondary, and that can be huge for Washington. Next on my list is a quarterback by the name of Tyson Campbell out of Georgia, who I really feel like is going to be slept on. He's probably going to go high to mid second round, probably even third round if he continues to get passed up on, but he's coming out of Georgia. He's similar to Jalen Ramsey, not as good obviously, but he talks his cash, man, and he backs it up. He's big, physical, he isn't going to back down from no one, and I really like a cornerback like that. You know what I'm saying? Although we do have William Jackson, I really like Kendall Fuller, man, and I don't mind having him on the outside, but I would prefer him to be in the slot or free safety, and I really feel like this guy could be an outside second corner. He will obviously have to grow into to that. I personally don't think he's a guy that can come in here day one and be a starter. I think he will have to work for it and obviously get better over time, and that's okay. It's rare that a cornerback comes in year one and just locks down the league, man. So it takes time for that. I feel like if we take Tyson Campbell in the second, third, or maybe even fourth round, if he slips that far, I feel like Washington could have a steal of the draft by drafting this guy because he has so much upside. Like I told you, he's not afraid to talk his trash. He's physical. Like I told you, he's not afraid to get up in the receiver stuff, talk his trash, press him off the line. He has good makeup speed if he gets beat too. So I feel like this guy could be so good on the defensive end for Washington. Next player on my list is a edge rusher, and I know you guys are probably looking at me crazy, but yes, an edge rusher. Obviously we have Chase Young and we have Montez Sweat. Now this guy isn't going to be a stud in my opinion, but I feel like he can be a very good player. His name is Jonathan Cooper out of Ohio State, who is a solid edge rusher in my opinion, and we need depth at that position. With Ryan Kerrigan probably not coming back, I know it's been rumors circulating that he could possibly reunite with Washington, but it's not likely in my opinion. So with him leaving, all we have is James Smith-Williams to back up Chase Young and Montez Sweat. If we bring in Jonathan Cooper, I really feel like he can be a solid guy, and we rarely need edge rushers, and he can reunite with Chase Young. And you know OSU never disappoints with sending edge rushers to the league. My last and final player on my list is a linebacker by the name of Jabrill, who I feel like is going to be gone in the second round, maybe third round, but I feel like he's going to be gone in early second round. I feel like if Washington can get his hands on him at 51, you can't pass up on him, and this is obviously if we don't go linebacker in the first round. Let's say we go quarterback. If Jabrill Cox is there at 51, you cannot pass up on this guy. This is a guy that transformed his career after transferring to LSU, and this guy was so good for LSU in my opinion. Watching his tape, I was just blown away. He has the ability to pass cover when you need him to. He can come down, make tackles, and he can also get in the backfield and sack the quarterback if you need. So this guy is a jack of all trades at the linebacker position, and I really feel like if we can get our hands on him at 51, we need to draft this guy. So yeah, man, just a quick little video going over some of the players that I feel like can be late round studs / good players, because all of these guys aren't going to be studs. And I know I left out a lot of people, and I know you guys are going to put me on to some new players down below. You guys always put me on to new players that could be slept on. Let me know what you guys think about this video down below. Put me on to some new players. It's been your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hell to the Washington football team. We're on the road to 3,000. We're almost there. Get me there. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment. It's been your boy Juan Gotti. I'm out. Peace. Cross me one time, that's gonna get you popped. Get you popped.